Hey there, baseball fans. Nathan Rohde and Shooter Hunt here with the latest episode of Coffee and Curveballs. Shooter, it's in the air. The season is almost starting. We've got scout days, we've got indoor events, we've got scrimmages. So we're going to take a tour around the country and look at some highlights.
Yeah, we were really trying to break this down and narrow things down, but we had so many guys out, so many preseason events. The seasons are really getting started down south, and some big names, especially an underclassmen this week, Rody.
Yeah, no doubt. So let's kick things off in the state of Nevada. Had some scout days out there this weekend with Brett Harrison, and we've got big-time stuff coming out of Bishop Gorman, shockingly. But the son of a big leaguer, Justin Crawford, son of Carl, obviously, really put on a show with, can you guess it, speed.
Yeah, and ran the 60, obviously, and the first time he runs 6.41. Whew, blazing for a sophomore. So what did Brett say? Hey, let's run it again. What does he do? He goes 6.22 in round two. All right, well, we want to make sure these clocks work. Go round three, 6.19. I don't know what Carl's running right now, but I'd love to see a race between those two because I'm sure he's still got it in. But big fan of Justin Crawford. Can really swing it from the left side. Love the way the barrel works through the zone. That Gorman outfield's going to be stacked this year. Looking forward to seeing them. And obviously that speed's a weapon out there, and he's put his name since incredibly on the map of this 22 class. Rankings coming out soon, and the overall, he'll be up there very high.
I imagine he will. But also in the state of Nevada, we're looking at Tyler Whitaker, who is a two-way Arizona recruit with a chance to make a pretty big jump this year, it sounds like.
Yeah, and really was known more as an arm. It was big arm strength. He was actually 91 from the outfield. Didn't get on the mound and throw because he had gotten some wisdom teeth taken out before heading over to Gorman. But the bat at underclass area codes really stood out. Ball jumps off the barrel. There's some strength through the zone. Physical kid, and showed he can really swing it even more so during this workout. Ran a 6.59 in the 60, so you know he got that speed. I'm sure he'll be getting talked about after next summer, leading towards that 21 draft.
Excellent. And we've got right-hander Payton Risky, who is also the son of a big leaguer, but quick arm, young frame. Shooter, it sounds like you like this guy.
Yeah, and there's a lot of big numbers that the guys are throwing out there at Gorman. It's a stacked program. And then I'm looking at videos, and I talked to Brett. I said, this Risky kid, I love the way that he worked through his bullpen. Everything's clean. It's a quick arm. The velo hasn't jumped yet, but it was such a mature, polished bullpen, and his feel for that changeup. It was diving off the table. Big fan of that, and I'm sure we'll be seeing him for Team Nevada down at the future games this summer.
So obviously a lot of talent coming out of Bishop Gorman as usual. But that's not all the baseball surrounds just Bishop Gorman. But it sounds like in Southern Nevada, there were some other scout days that had some standouts.
Rhody, Nevada. When you come out to the West Coast, you got to say it right.
Sorry.
But yeah, there were a lot of talented guys there. Josiah Cromwell, a really good catcher, we'll be talking about in the draft. But Garrett Cutting, a shortstop in the 21 class, committed to Oregon now. Looks even more physical. I think he's going to really be able to swing it. I'm excited to watch him next summer. But there are a lot of guys at that event that Brett will be talking about in the future.
Excellent. So that wraps up Nevada. Let's head over to Texas, where they're kicking things off with some scrimmages. The season's going to be starting up pretty soon. I'm actually going to be down there in a couple of weeks. But one of our guys was at a showdown between Memorial and Bridgeland in a scrimmage, which has a ton of underclassmen to talk about.
Yeah, talk about kicking off scrimmages with a game like this. Memorial rolled out one of the top freshmen in the country. He's actually fifth overall, Jacob Schultz, left-handed pitcher. He worked 83 to 85, but it's a three-pitch mix. Real mature on the mound. Everything for a strike, keeping guys off balance, does not look scared there, and Houston baseball is no joke. That Bridgeland team is stellar. Tons of underclassmen. I think they'll have a chance at state over the next 3 years, if not this year, next year, the year after. It's a really good program there. One name to keep an eye on for them that I'm excited to see in a few weeks is Connor Wiegman. Plays for the 12 program. I saw him this summer. Really athletic. Plays quarterback at the school. Looks even more physical. I'm sure the football aspect of it helps him out. But he hit a home run in the game. Shout out PBR Bomb Squad. But it's a ton of athleticism in that uncommitted Texan product.
Imagine that, an infielder / QB at a Texas school. So haven't heard that before. But moving on to Texas's neighbor in Louisiana, the number 2 player in 2023, Trey Sofio, got out there to see him in Cade Anderson, and this guy looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I can get down to see St. Paul play because Kate Anderson's going to be pretty special. It's a real quick arm, first time towing the rubber in high school, and he goes out there. He's 84 to 86, just working the fastball changeup mix. Not that big breaking ball yet, but shoot, man, LSU commit, it comes out real easy, and he's pretty dang good. There's a reason why he's the second overall player in the class.
So those are some warm weather states. They're getting some play outside, but the cold weather states, not quite outside weather just yet, but they're still doing stuff inside. In Illinois, we had the preseason all-state event, which is always a launching pad for uncommitted players and committed players alike. You know, they stand out as well, but there always seems to be a guy jumping out that's not committed to school that makes some noise, and that was true this year. And the guy to highlight in that regard is Tyler Conklin, who was up to 91 seemingly out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think coaches are going to be taking notice of that. I was going through Twitter and retweeting and liking all those guys, but Conklin's definitely one up to 91. I love watching bullpens at the max there because it's so loud. It's nice and comforting in there. It looks like you're throwing cheese, and he was. But he wasn't alone. Eric Orloff, who was a PBR Future Games guy for Team Illinois. He's a lefty, 88-89, still uncommitted. Definitely a guy that some coaches are going to be highlighting early in that March 1 day they can get out there, hopefully to see him. And then also, not only the uncommitted guys, but Drew Gray, Arkansas commit, left-hander. Man, that's whippy and easy, and it really comes out. I wouldn't be surprised if he's making his way back to the max maybe Super Bowl Sunday next year, hopefully, but it comes out real easy.
Write it down, sign it, and date it. So, but wrapping things up here on Coffee and Curveballs, we're going to stop in North Carolina. I just saw the North Carolina Pro Case. We're not going to get into that today. You can check out the latest Roadshow episode on PrepBaseballReport.com. We're actually going to rewind a couple of weeks. Calvert Clark was at a North Carolina, was it preseason All-State event, I believe, but he was electric there. We've seen him, a lot as a two-way guy and really liked him at the plate early on, but shooter, it sounds like the upside on the mound is absolutely enormous.
Yeah, and he threw out the NPI, and you could see the arm strength was there. But shoot, up to 92, preseason bullpen. It's effortless, gets great extension towards the plate, really drives it to the bottom of the zone. Breaking ball was kind of hit or miss throughout this, but he can spin it. It's still early, but shoot, he's going to throw real hard, and that frame really projects. He's going to have a lot more strength coming there. Carolina hitters, watch out.
Indeed. So there you have it, a look around the country at some recent action. Obviously, plenty to come on with the coverage at PrepBaseballReport.com. I myself am on my way down to Florida for the preseason classic, and then on to Atlanta for the Georgia Dugout Club. And oh, by the way, it's opening weekend coming up for college baseball shooters. So next week, this time, we're going to have quite a bit to talk about.
Oh, yeah, I'll be locked in the command center Friday, Saturday, Sunday on the East Coast because of big New Jersey Future Games trials next Sunday.
There you go. So, as always, for Shooter Hunt, I'm Nathan Rohde. This was Coffee and Curveballs, and until next time, we'll see you guys at the ballpark.